Hey guys, great to see you at the agent training this morning. It was a blessing to be able to run scripts with you, talk about some big whys, go over our 411, which is our business plan over the next week, month, and year, tie that to what's most important to us, and then talk about some practical things on Brivity, as well as jump into some scripts practice and talk about some applications from that. So just wanted to recap real quick what today's agent training looked like. We talked about a few things. One, Brivity as far as lead input goes. There is that whole side section area where there's people and transactions, and what we discussed is just focusing on the leads, which is the very top section, and then classifying leads as past client, nurture, hot leads, and then a few other classifications. So since those have all been transferred into your file on Brivity, make sure one, you log into Brivity, you make sure that all of your clients are in there, and then two, take some time, even though it's a lot of clients, you're gonna thank yourself later on to make sure that you're classifying all the people that are in there, that if it's a hot lead, it's a hot lead. If it's somebody that you're nurturing, so maybe 1 to 2, 3 months out from, make sure that you classify those people so that you know to follow up with them. If it's a closed lead, make sure that you classify them as a closed client, even if they might buy a house again in the future, because if they're on your pop by schedule, that's gonna help you to stay in touch with them and to create brand champions or VIPs out of them, people that are going to be your core advocates within your sphere to continue growing your business and your brand in the future, so that you can close more deals with people that you like and people that you trust and people that trust you. Also, jumping into scripts, we talked about a couple phone calls as far as taking leads of people that just might be calling on signs, or that might have received your phone number from another friend or family member, or some other avenue, one of the many streams that they come from: Google, Zillow, Redfin, not Conversion now, Brivity, and a few other websites that we have. A couple of the takeaways or applications, we had some really good feedback or content. One, we talked about continuing to ask why. So when somebody calls and asks about a property or asks about listing their home, asking why is that important to you? So why is listing your home important? What does that do for your family? What does that do for the next season of your life? Why did you call about this home? Why is this home important for you? Why is it in Puyallup? Why is it this square footage? Why is it this bedroom and baths? Why is it right now? And making sure that whatever they ask, that we're asking questions, and that whatever they answer, that maybe we continue to go, as Kyle said, 3 whys deep, and to continue to ask why that's important. That is 2 things. That helps you to calibrate your value proposition, so that when you talk to these people over the phone, your 10, 15, 30-second elevator speech, per se, is able to be that much more concise if you're able to tie it to what's important to them and what their big why is, and help to tie that into our company's big why. Additionally, we talked about having a 10-second or even 5-second pitch that says something along the lines of, hey, at PNW Real Estate, our goal is to have a people-focused, performance-driven service within the real estate industry that raises the standard of excellence, and we want to talk about how we might be able to serve you best. Another statement that was brought up was, that's why we need to meet up. So consistently finding opportunities within the conversation to say, hey, that's why we need to meet up, because you have questions about this, you have questions about a property, questions about the process. That's a good reason why we need to meet up. Also, providing a call to action is hugely beneficial. If you get a phone call from somebody, whether it's about a property or about the prospect of selling, or they just have a question about real estate, finding an opportunity, a call to action to say, hey, sometimes it has to do with the seasonality of real estate, sometimes interest rates, sometimes it's a class, but saying, hey, I wanted to invite you. We have a class coming up on the 15th here at PNW Real Estate. It's going to be about the buying process, or I wanted to let you know interest rates looks like they might be going up, or this new property came up and it made me think about you. Whatever opportunity that we might have is just an excuse to reach out to them. Also, talking about a risk reward. So finding out, when you find out what's important to your clients, it gives you the opportunity to drive into that, to establish what's important to them. So if them getting in a home, for example, before the school year is important, and that's why they're calling, that gives you an opportunity in the future as part of your value proposition to present to them the cost benefit analysis of saying, I understand that you want the home that has 10 out of 10 on everything, but I heard you say that you want to be in a home before the next school year starts, and I want to see your family in that position. I want to see you meet that goal, as well as finding a home that's perfect for your family as much as can be according to this market. It was also mentioned to not try to over-educate your client, so that or the lead, and that goes hand in hand with that's why we need to conversation. So they might say, hey, I want to know, what does the selling process look like? You could try to explain the whole process, or you could say, hey, that's a good reason why it would be good to meet with you in person. You want to know what the value of your house is worth. We're dealing with that. I'm dealing with that with a client right now, so we can try to say, hey, let's ask a million questions about what all the features of the house are, or I can just say, you know what, that's a great question. That's why we need to meet up, so we have the opportunity to see your house and to talk about what the value of your home is. The final thing is to always clearly set up the next step of the conversation. So a lot of conversations might end with somebody saying, hey, you know what, I'll talk to the wife, I'll think about it, I'll look at my schedule, and I'll get back to you. Always give yourself an opportunity and to clearly establish the next step for you to follow up with that person. So if somebody says, hey, yeah, I'll call you back later on today, it's really busy, I gotta look at my calendar, talk to the wife. Absolutely, you say, absolutely, that sounds great. Hey, if I don't hear back from you by 7 p.m., is it okay if I give you a call back? I want to make sure I have the opportunity to connect with you before the end of the day. And if they're able to say yes, and that gives you the opportunity to come back and to say, hey, I told you I was going to call you around 7 p.m. It's now 7 p.m. I wanted to touch base with you. That shows them that you're in control of your schedule, and that you're in control of their schedule. And sometimes that can bring some incredible peace of mind for buyers or sellers to know that whereas their cousin or their uncle or their friend who's in real estate might be out there somewhere and available, that you have a plan for them to purchase a home, and that you already have them on your schedule, on your calendar, on your priority list, on your lead list, and that they're a priority for you. So always saying, hey, what, the next step of the process is to meet up. The next step of the process is to get pre-approved. The next step of the process is I'm going to call you back, whatever it might take. Actually, I just used that. We talked about it this morning, and I just set another listing appointment with that script today. Now we have one set for 1:30 on Sunday and 3 p.m. on Sunday. It'll be a tight schedule, but it'll be great. So I think that was the majority of the content. Finally is the 411. We rebranded the Keller Williams 411 with a kind of a PNW look. And so what we're going to do is we're going to share that with you through the Dropbox, so you always have the 411. If you have questions on what that looks like, feel free to reach out anytime, call, text, or email. That's basically saying, what's your one thing? What's the big thing that's important for you that brought you into the real estate game? Why are you selling houses to begin with? That's your one thing. Tying it to your 1 year goal, tying that to a monthly goal, and then tying that to a weekly goal that's both driven by performance that you're holding yourself accountable to, and then the amount of transactions and the amount of money that you're trying to make, then how that affects your personal finances, and then the influence or legacy that might have on your personal life. So I want to help you succeed in a way that's a win for you, and whatever your comfort level is within the real estate game, however many real estate deals that you're trying to have in contract, however many clients that you're trying to take on at once, I want to help you see that happen, make that happen, provide systems and efficiency, support and accountability and coaching to make that happen. And I'm excited to see you all next week. Don't forget, next Monday is MLK Day. So while I'll be working and still available if you have any questions at all, the office will be closed. And I believe the Keller Williams office is closed as well. Happy Friday, you guys. Thank you so much again for those who were able to make it out this morning. And we'll talk to you soon.